Hi everyone, I'm Sean from Talos Drones. Today we'll be prepping our T6X for the next season. As well, we'll be doing a maintaining video as well. Today we're going to be using a variety of tools to complete this task. We're going to be using the drone remote controller, T6X. We're also going to be needing our gloves for protection as well as safety glasses. We're also going to be needing an electric screwdriver as well as a variety of bits. We're also going to be using a ratchet and a socket. In our last video, as you can see, we broke our propellers on the drone, so we have to replace them. As you can see, these are new propellers. There's no chip, there's no damage done to the propellers, as you can see. So when checking, you want to make sure that everything is nice and smooth to the touch. And then we're also, for the maintaining video, we're also going to be using soap and water with some rags. I have about 50% dish soap and 50% water in this spray bottle. Also, we're going to be using that. Now, first, we're going to be checking the drone entirely. So as you can see, this drone is pretty dirty. We are going to be taking it outside and cleaning it out there. But first, what we like to do is to make sure everything is, there's no damage done to the drone. There's no, you don't hear any funny noises. So first, what I like to do is make sure that when taking the drone out, there's no weird noises, there's no movements to the arm. As you can see, this one's okay. We can make sure that it locks okay. See, we can hear that noise. If you don't hear that noise, maybe you should check on the locking lever handle. And I like to inspect as well as this arm as well, making sure there's no cracks. As you can see, this is not a crack, this is some type of adhesive to a tape. So just to make sure, you're double checking the arm, making sure there's no cracks, there's no damage done to the arm. And as well, like I said, we're gonna be taking this outside and cleaning this all off. As you can see, it's debris. But right now, I'm just checking, inspecting all the propellers, making sure there's no washer damage. As we come back, let me close this for the camera. We're going back here. We're inspecting just to make sure nothing has been done. Like you see, there's some tape for probably this wire right here. We want to make sure this is not going anywhere, but we'll retape that if necessary. And making sure that's done, making sure nothing done damage to the tank. Check this out as well. As you can see, we're missing propellers up here, so we're going to be replacing those, but making sure nothing's been done. Any damages, making sure there's no weird noises, making sure all the arms, everything done. Okay guys, when you're done inspecting the entire drone, you always want to make sure the tank is good to go as well. Make sure that there's no leaks, there's no cracks in the pumps or any kind of buildup or any type of, making sure that it's nice and solid. You don't want any loose ends. You want to make sure you can tug on it, making sure nothing's to go, making sure that you guys don't have anything to worry about, no loose nuts, screw nuts, anything, just to make sure you can play on it. But as this tank goes, there's no holes, there's no cracks, there's nothing to really worry about. The most boring part is to make sure that this is cleaned out and no buildup, no gunk in between the lines or the hoses, to make sure everything runs smoothly for the next season. As you can see, it gets pretty dirty right here, and what we want to make sure is that these are pretty clean. So when it comes time to clean this, we want to make sure there's no debris or dust or any kind of debris inside the ports where it can affect or harm the system of the drone. So might come around for that. That's okay. And you can see there's a lot of tape and things. That's just to make sure, double protection if anything, to make sure there's no harm being done to the cables. As you can see, we look into our cables and pins, make sure everything's nice and clean, no dust or debris inside. Making sure the landing gear is okay, that's okay, everything's okay. Making sure our guards are not cracked, dent, anything like that. Now coming to the motor, we're gonna make sure that there's no cracks, any kind of damage, any type of warping to the motor cover, or even itself the motor. Just make sure it's not making funny noises, anything. But usually when you hear that, it's pretty good. This is good. And then just making sure it's freely, it's not moving badly. It's just nice and smooth. And then check out the ESCs as well. Then moving on, we're gonna be looking at our battery pins. As you can see, they're quite dirty. It's kind of gunk in here. Usually when we're outside, we'll clean that, but usually there's no damage done to the pin. You know, everything looks okay. So we look out for that. Make sure no plastic's being broken or cracked, no warping as well. Now we also want to make sure we check our weight sensors for the tank, because these are very important. Because if it's faulty, you do want to replace this because it will get inaccurate sprays and the tank volume. So just to make sure, you know, like there's no damage. You can also take out this rubber piece and then make sure that this is not damaged, this is not warping. And you can check, we were going to check the other side. You put this back on, that's good. But you can also check this other side, making sure this side is good to go. You know, the cables are good, the cable's right here for it, making sure that's good. You know, if you want to, you can retape your cable for next season, just to make sure, you know, that has that more durability to it. But you know, this is okay. We do use this drone heavily, so it'll be fine, but making sure that's fine. You can always, for next season, always make sure that you can always add new propellers, you can always add new gaskets. You can always go in and change out the locking lever if it's making any kind of weird noises, making sure everything's nice and smooth. You don't want anything making weird noises. If it's having any kind of weird noise, you can always go to your local drone supplier, or you can even go to us. If even, you can always maintain it, see if there's any problems with it. But when it comes to that, that'll be it for the inspection. We're going to be going out very shortly to to wipe down the drone, making sure everything's nice and ready to go for next season, and maintaining it as well. Okay guys, we're now on the controller. So when it comes to the controller, we want to go into our settings. We want to go to aircraft. We want to make sure that we run through this to make sure all the settings are good. You know, flight augmentation, just to make sure all your settings are good. We're going to go into sensor. Once we're fine, we're going to be reading all these numbers right now. But since it's on the floor right now, it has no reading. But when it's up in the air, we're going to see the readings, and we want to make sure they're all leveled, almost similar. But it doesn't have to be perfect, but we're gonna be reading these. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna go to the spreader too. If you have a spreader or spraying or spreader, you're gonna go into here. You want to do some calibrations. You're gonna go through there and to make sure all these calibrate. We do have videos on in-depth on how to calibrate your system and all that. So check it out. But I'm just gonna be going through them just to make sure everything's good. Controller's good. Everything looks good here. Sensors, as you can see, that RTK, all that. But our main concern is also the battery as well. We all make sure that the batteries are always almost similar, never too high, never too low. The same when it comes to the volt, you know, everything looks good here. That looks good, everything looks good so far. And everything looks good so far. But as you can see, we do have an error on the spreading system. As you can see, that this might be an error because I know what the error might be. So here, take a look. As you can see, when we were possibly cleaning this, it got disconnected. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna reconnect this. Hear that clip, make sure everything is good to go. You can put on the rubber piece back. If you can, might be a little difficult. Good to go. That stays like that, that stays like that. Okay, now hopefully when we come here, see, now it's giving us different errors, which is okay because it's usually payload detection not monitored, which is it's empty, which it is, all that. So it's okay. That's okay. See, as you can see, it detected pedestrians, which is us right now. We are close to the drone, so it's good. That means the sensors and radar is working. So we're good to go. That's good to go. Now we have to make sure everything is good. Okay, we are now up in the air. We are now flying the drone. As you can see, it looks good. You know, to make sure everything's working fine, you can do a quick spin, spinning out. You can go up and down. You know, make sure it just looks smooth. It's not wobbling any sort of way. You also do want to do some type of mission/route just to make sure everything's working properly. But when it comes to spraying, you can spray it. Make sure it has that cone effect, that nice big open wide fan to it. And then we also want to come into here in our videos. We do want to make sure we go to aircraft. We do want to go to sensor calibration. And you see, as I was talking about earlier, we want to make sure that all these numbers are reading almost the same, but not too different, not too wide. As you can see, these are okay numbers. Now, nothing's really happening to the drone right now. But, you know, you can go back, you go forward, you know. Just look out for any type of weird movements that the drone may have. But as you can see, it's performing well. It's looking good. There's no weird movements. Also, guys, when it comes to preparing your drone for the next season, you also want to make sure you do a flight on 5 acres, preferably anything wider than 5, because it will put the stress test on the drone. So anything like that will be good. Usually we're not in an open space, a big open acre space, but this will do, you know, just to make sure the drone's working, you know, there's no weird movements. As you can see, this looks good. Goes up, goes down, goes sideways. It's fast, it's smooth, it's not going anywhere. So when you're at the end of your flight, you just want to make sure you can manually put it if you want to. And then once it's done, you do want to make sure that all the systems are okay. It will give you some type of flight record at the end of your mission or your type of test. With that, so far, the only issues we have, there is just issues about the flow meter, you know, about it's empty, and that's about it. Okay guys, after you're done with your test flight, we are now gonna go be maintaining and washing it up and making it look pretty for the next season. We are going to be using a pair of safety glasses, some gloves, a bucket, a rag, also another rag, and if you want to, you can use a spray bottle, but make sure it is some type of degreaser, spray cleaner, anything like that. I'm using 50% dish soap, 50% water. We are, guys, going to be using some gloves, some safety glasses. We're also going to be using some rags, dirty rags preferably, because your drone will get dirty and your rags will get dirty. So you also can use a spray bottle if you wish. I am using 50% dish soap, 50% water. You also can use a bucket of water / soap too as well. But I will be showing another way to do it. So when it comes to cleaning the drone, what I like to do is I like to start from the front and then take it from an arm to an arm, or however you like. There's no real way of doing this, but what I like to do is I like to get my towel like this, so I have 4 corners to work with. As you can see, it's already dirty, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to spray a nice mist on there. I prefer not to spray on the drone because it can damage the drone if there's some type of open wiring, cabling, anything like that. So I do like to spray on the rag and then give it a quick wipe, as you can see. And then if you need to, we will go back and the drone, you know, don't be afraid. You can always come back to your rag, spray more as much as you need. You know, you want to make sure also these lenses are clean, because it will give some type of error if they detect any kind of debris or any type of smudging. You know, you can also get these landing gears, but they're not necessarily needed to be clean. But you know, this is just a quick wipe down, you know, making sure all the cabling and all that is good and wiped down. Okay, now we're gonna be going into our arm area. As you can see, there's I don't necessarily clean the propellers, but you can always give them a quick wipe down if they're heavily dirty, any type of material on them, you know, doesn't really matter. Okay, quick wipe down, you know, making sure. Now moving on to the ESCs. Now when it comes to this, I'm very careful because you don't want any type of liquid or any type of whatever chemicals you're using to go into these ports or any type of cabling, you know. So I'm very careful, so I'm doing something light again, just making sure that we are Very, very cautious of this. Like that, you know, you can get under there too. Make sure that these hoses are not clogged anywhere. You know, as you can see, they're still clear, so I can see into them, so nothing's being clogged or poor. And hopefully you guys did that calibration. So this, I do like to spray on there a little bit, because there's just mainly metal and plastic, so that's okay. There's no open wires right here. I'll make sure the battery's off, give it a good pull. As you can see, guys, we did open the battery. Now we can see the pins. I'm gonna make sure that I flip over my towel and make sure I'm using a dry side, you know, no wet, no nothing, no type of solution on there. So I'm just gonna go in here and make sure. As you can see, this port is kind of welding and like almost, I would say, melting almost, because it is being used a lot. So we will have to either replace it sooner than later, but make sure you want to go here. That's clean, but usually with a good rub we'll get, see, everything's off now. And as you can see now, these pins are almost clean. And then I'm back to my wet side / dirty side. Now I can come to here and get rid of all these black marks on these plex covers. You see, good for this side. You can also clean right here for the rotors. Make sure these spin freely as well. You know, these are important. These how the batteries go in. So clean that, clean that. Make sure these pumps, and you can also clean these pumps down here to the tank. There's no clogs, there's nothing. For the next season, just straight clear. You know, it may be hard, since if you guys stain these, you might have to open these up and then look inside if needed. But usually with, you know, update, maintenance and all that, you shouldn't have to be unscrewing these. You should be pretty reliable when it comes to hoses like that. All right, we are now working our way to this other arm, and then it is getting pretty dirty now, so I am gonna flip it now and use this other side. See how it's nice and clean. I also like to check, make sure these screws aren't loose, you know, making sure everything's good. I always like to double check. Like I said to you here, this is a very light mist right here. I'm not going too heavy on the solution, just going from here to here on the ESCs. Like I said, be very careful. You don't want any type of liquid solution in there. As you can see, this one looked good as well. You know, I am seeing some type of chemicals on here, which is okay. You don't need a spray, you can just give a good rub. Usually comes off. It will have that black fadiness, which is okay because of the sun and all that harsh chemicals on it, so it's okay. As long as you don't see no cracks, any visible damage to the sprayer, then you should be fine. So a quick wipe, make it look brand new. You also can use some type of air blower or some type of air compressor, but not too high, I would say. Just enough to get some type of debris or dust out of the system of the drone. And we also do not recommend to use any type of pressure or any type of water hose strictly on the drone, because it will cause damage to the drone. Now, since it's mostly plastic and mostly just landing gear, I won't touch the radar just yet. I will use a different side for light use. So I'm just gonna go here, just make sure. As you can see, it's pretty dirty back here, so I'm gonna give it a little more of a love back here, and I can get the tank as well. And then you see I have not touched the radar just yet. I want to make sure, as there is a cable, and this radar can be very sensitive if you knock it / touch it, so that's okay. So now I am getting pretty dirty now, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna inside fold the towel now. As you can see, I'm on a less drier side now. Now I'll come to the radar, you know, very lightly. Don't put any kind of pressure on it, because you will break the bracket to it. We don't want to do that. Let's give it a quick wipe. Bam, bam. It might be tricky. You guys can use a brush but I won't advise it, as you know, it's gonna be kind of hard to take things off, but you can go a little bit aggressive. Now we're on our way to the middle frame of the section again, as we clean the other side. So this one I can feel on it's a little order, so I am gonna go a little more aggressive on it, as you can see. But as you can see, when you guys are using the chemical, it will stain the hose, which is normal. So don't be freaking out if your guys' hoses are getting stained, which is normal. As long as there's no leaks or any kind of cracks in the hoses, it should be fine. As you can see right here, it is quite dirty, so I am gonna just spray directly on the tank. I won't spray right here, so I'm just gonna spray right here, and we'll use a little bit more. Like you see, it's not gonna be perfect, but it will get that debris off. As you can see, this tank has been used, so there is some type of scratch, but as long as it's not leaking or you can poke your hole through it, your finger with, sorry, you should be okay. But clean that, get up to that. You also can clean the guards if you like, but we recommend, if it's any type of damage or any type of dents inside the guard, we do recommend to change them out or replace them with some type of new one. Okay guys, we are now done wiping the drone now. You know, as you can see, it's not the best as in perfect, but we did wipe it down. You know, we made sure everything's nice and clean. We are now going to go into the portion of washing / rinsing out the tank now. You know, make sure you are using gloves, you are using something for your eyes protection. So when you guys are coming down here, you can screw it, and basically that will come out. So like that, that's what we want, like that. So now once you can push this filter through, or you can get your finger and wiggle it in. Usually I might have to come back up here and put my hand down the tank and push it through. Push this like so, like that. And you want to make sure this filter is clean. You know, there's no gunk. As you can see, this one's semi-clean, but we are going to be rinsing it. But I am going to be closing this up for now, and we are going to be rinsing this. We are going to be using some type of water or solution, and then what I do is just make sure I get in there, you know, clean all that, clean all that. That's good. You can use your hands, don't advise to, but go in here, scrub it with the brush, as so. You know, make sure you are using gloves. I do want to emphasize that. These are chemicals, harsh chemicals you guys are working with. Spray all off. In there, there, there. All in there, that's so. Perfect. Make sure don't rinse. Tap it to dry. And you can leave these guys out to dry or not, it doesn't really matter. Make sure if you guys do want to have it with full water or not, make sure you unscrew this cap. I do want this off so far, so we're gonna do that. And then for the first round, I am just gonna be using just water so far. So I am gonna go in here, get every corner out, and as you can see, this is just the first round, so I am just gonna make sure everything's nice and wet. You can use your pressure washer. I don't advise, but you can. Soapy water or whatever solution you made, just make sure it's not too harmful. I will spray it in there. You can use a brush. I advise to use a brush, but we do not have a brush at the moment. But usually do that. A nice good amount of soapy solution all around. As you can see, it is draining from the bottom, which we want. Make sure all that nasty gunk is off. I like to get the lip too, around here. I will let the soapy solution / solution stay for 30 seconds to a minute, you know, just to make sure it breaks down all that chemicals or whatever chemicals you're using. And then this will be our final rinse. I will make sure that this is fully just water coming out. I don't want any type of soap mixing with my chemicals for the fuel. And then I will go to a nice big mist, kind of. I get up in here, you know, make sure you go all around. And then last one will be shower. Just to make sure all that soapy water solution is out of the tank. Make sure you guys are not getting any type of liquid or water on the battery ports. I know it's close, so make sure you cover with a cloth or some type of cover to make sure it does not get affected by the water. All right guys, that's it for that. Do not forget your filter. Usually it should be dry by now. Good to go. Close that. Don't forget as well as your little filter for the bottom. Twist it in, usually like that. It falls into place. It shouldn't be sticking out. And then you should come in here with your little screw filter. And the same thing, come in here, put extra tight, make sure there's no leaks. As you can see, there are no leaks. Don't want no leaks. If it's leaking, please call us or your local drone supplier to fix this part. But that's it for that. You can, and I would advise to fill up the tank with some type of water only. You know, you will be doing some type of tank calibration, some type of weight calibration, and making sure that the hoses are clear of any traps. So we are going to be doing that. We do have videos on that to show you how to do the calibrations to that. All right guys, the video has come to an end. We are done maintaining / prepping our drone for the next season. Remember, this was a Talos T60X, but in all, you can use any type of spare drone. Doesn't really matter. As long as it looks clean, runs smooth, it should be good. Remember, my name is Sean from the Talos Tech team. I hope you enjoy the video.